Ethan Lee here, Elee Knives. Today I'd like to show you how to calculate your speeds and feeds with your machine equipment, milling machine or lathe, if you're fortunate enough to have one. First step, get a machinery's handbook. Wealth of knowledge all in this one book, and specifically the feeds and speeds section. This section will tell you, depending on what type of cutter you're using and depending on what material you're cutting, what your cutting speed needs to be and what your chip load needs to be, which is very important in the calculations we're about to do. So let's say we're using a high-speed steel end mill and we're cutting some 1018, some mild steel. What you're going to do is take your cutting speed, and I'm just gonna, off the top of my head, say 50. Your cutting speed, which is found in the machinery's handbook, you're going to multiply, which is 50, times 4, which is a constant. Take that number, divide it by the diameter of your end mill, of your cutter, which is, for my case, an 1/8 inch end mill. So 0.125. That's going to give me 1600 in revolutions per minute, which is the speed that my machine reads at. That's what my machine needs to spin at to cut the material I'm cutting. So I'm going to turn my machine on, 1600 RPM. Now, to calculate my feed rate, I need to know what chip load do I need to have for that material using that type of cutter, which again, I'll look up in my machinery's handbook. So I'm just going to say 2 thousandths per revolution. Then I'm going to multiply that by the cutting surfaces of the cutter I'm using, which in this case, it's a 4-flute end mill, so 4. Then I'm going to multiply that by the RPM that I previously found, which was 1600. And that's going to give me 12.8 inches per minute. That's the feed rate I need to get. So 1600 RPM, 12.8 inches per minute. And that is how you calculate your speeds and feeds for your machine equipment.